And we're tracking hot temperatures for the weekend. We'll warn that full forecast coming up. NBC Palm Springs at 6 starts right now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Messer. We start with developing news tonight from the nation's capital. The Supreme Court removing barriers for President Trump's plan to implement his birthright citizenship change.
In a 6-3 decision today, the justices ruled against lower state courts that previously blocked Trump's executive order, which reinterprets the 14th Amendment. Now, under the new interpretation, a child would only be granted U.S. citizenship at birth if at least one parent is a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. The proposal was first announced back in January, but it was quickly met with legal pushback. State courts across the country issued injunctions putting the order on hold. But now with the High Court's decision, that legal roadblock has been removed. Today, we spoke with TODEC attorney Alex Galvez about what this means.
In order for that injunction to take effect at the national level, every single state, every single district, there's about 100 federal district courts, regions, must file for an injunction in order for Donald Trump's interpretation of the 14th Amendment not to be implemented and at the national level. An injunction is not in place, say, for example, in Texas, the children that are born there after 30 days, they might be born without any birth certificate. If there's no injunction, we might be seeing a reality where parents, pregnant women from Texas might be moving over here to California in order to ensure that the child is given a U.S. birth certificate. So there's no doubt in 30 days, we're going to be facing a new reality if the injunctions do not take hold at the national level.
That was attorney Alex Galvez just now. And with the decision from the Supreme Court this morning, local leaders and organizations are sharing their thoughts. They're reacting to the decision. Tiani Jadaling joining us live in studio with more from both parties. Tiani?
Mark, according to some local leaders, this new decision could set the nation up for a patchwork of civil liberties and rights. While some might view that as a negative, others I spoke with tell me they believe this decision puts America first and protects the Constitution.
Some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country.
That's what President Trump had to say about this morning's decision coming from the Supreme Court. The ruling limits the ability of judges to block the president's plan to end birthright citizenship. The decision-making rule that judges cannot issue sweeping universal injunctions that can apply nationwide. Local Democratic politicians tell us this could divide civil liberties and rights for states.
That opens up the possibility that California and Arizona and Texas and different states will have different rights for individuals. And that's going to be very difficult for the federal government. It's going to disintegrate the notion that we're one nation.
Congressman Raul Ruiz says he believes SCOTUS will eventually have to decide whether or not being born in the United States gives the right to be a citizen.
It has been upheld through numerous consistently Supreme Court decisions in the past. So I'm confident that the Supreme Court will rule as the Supreme Court has done numerous times in the past, that if you're born here, you're a citizen.
While a ruling was made this morning, this decision doesn't affect individuals for a number of days. A decision some conservative organizations say was long overdue.
It is about time that the courts that stepped in and said, look, we just have to return to what's legal is legal, what's illegal is illegal. And that is where we are right now.
According to Latinos for America First, they say this ruling sets the tone for judges to rule based on the Constitution and a legal precedent moving forward.
We need our judges to see what's legal and to continue to do what's legal, because that's the way that we can conduct and keep this country in its sovereignty, and we keep this country, in a legal pathway, and to keep our community safe.
This morning's decision has prompted a number of groups, including ACLU, to file lawsuits on behalf of immigrants who may be affected by this order if it does go into effect. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadaling, NBC Palm Springs.
Thank you, Tiani. So as you heard, the Supreme Court ruling that federal judges cannot issue nationwide injunctions potentially limits the power to block presidential policies for the whole country. Critics warn this weakens judicial checks on executive power, while supporters say it reinforces the separation of powers. So the decision from the High Court means the president's restrictions on birthright citizenship could soon take effect in parts of the country, while the case now returns to the lower courts and could lead to a patchwork of enforcement across different states. The policy presented by the administration remains blocked nationwide for now, but historically, nationwide injunctions are seen as a check on executive power. Over 40 such injunctions have been issued during President Trump's second term.
One of the many groups that could be impacted by this decision are undocumented mothers-to-be across the country and here in the Coachella Valley. Alondra Campos is live in the studio tonight. Alondra, you spoke with an expecting mother about the uncertainty they now face.
That's right. The ruling could possibly mark the end of a constitutional right that has stood for over 150 years, granting automatic U.S. citizenship to anyone born on American soil. But for families who have built their lives here, the consequences go far beyond legal definitions. We spoke to one undocumented pregnant mother, a DACA recipient, who now fears what her unborn child's life in this country may look like.
Pregnancy is a time where you have to enjoy it, and right now I'm feeling extra stressed, really anxious.
For one Coachella Valley resident, the journey of motherhood has turned into a path of uncertainty.
I don't know what type of legal status my new baby's gonna have, and I don't think it's fair that my 3 other girls do, and then this one is like their legal status uncertain.
She is one of more than 500,000 young people living in the United States under DACA, a program that has allowed her to live, work, and raise a family. But with the Supreme Court's new ruling, her baby could be born into a country that no longer recognizes them as a citizen.
You know, they're not respecting the Constitution, they're not respecting the law, so it's fearful.
For this Coachella Valley resident, the United States has always been her home. She was brought here at the age of 2 after her parents immigrated from Michoacan, Mexico 28 years ago, and has built her entire life in the Coachella Valley. Today, she faces a harsh reality as she prepares to welcome a new baby into a country that may no longer welcome them.
I think I'm fearful more because I am an undocumented person, so I've been through the struggle of not having a legal status, and I think for this baby, my most fear would be like if she could go to college one day, for her or him to feel safe.
Although she is protected under the DACA status, her baby's citizenship status and future in this country weighs heavy on her shoulders.
It's really like injustice for any mother that's going through pregnancy right now. Going to have to be stressed for something like this.
Despite the worry and angst, she tells us that she still holds on to hope that protections will be restored.
I'm gonna try to protect him or her as best as I can, and hopefully something gets resolved soon.
Just like this Coachella Valley resident, many other expecting mothers wait with fear and the weight of uncertainty resting heavy on their shoulders. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
Alondra, thank you. We're giving you a live look tonight from our Agua Caliente casino camera from downtown Palm Springs. We're going to send things over to Chloe Carlson, who's not only tracking her weekend forecast, but Chloe, 1 week from today, we got July 4th.
That's true. Yeah, very exciting. And as we look into next week for the holiday, great conditions, clear skies. We'll give you that full July 4th forecast in just a little bit. But yeah, for the weekend as well, warm conditions. 107 right now in downtown Palm Springs at the airport. Winds light at this hour, 6 miles per hour from the southeast, so that's good news. We're not really tracking gusty winds, no wind advisories out there. That's always a plus for us here on the desert floor. We're right around seasonal for today, so we just jumped up. We were 106 at the 5 o'clock, 107 for the high. So we'll call it seasonal for this time of year. Temperatures will change as we get into the weekend. As far as wind gusts go into the weekend, similar to what we saw this week. So for those wind-prone areas, they'll pick up a little bit in the afternoon and evening hours. We're talking about sustained winds, 20 miles miles per hour. Those gusts will be in the 30s for most of those areas. For us here on the desert floor and up into the high desert as well for Yucca Valley, we'll just call it breezy conditions. So we'll stay in the teens here. So not a problem for us. Here's a look at that surface map for Saturday. Yeah, this ridge of high pressure center to the south of us right now. That's going to slowly move its way over Southern California over the course of the next couple of days. So that'll start to ramp up those temperatures for tomorrow. More likely on the cooler side, 109, but there's a chance 109 to 113 for our weekend. Here's a good chance for a 3-day forecast. Like I said, a warming trend into the weekend. We'll break down more you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Chloe. Well, with the 4th of July celebrations just around the corner, some fireworks and loud noises will be arriving next week as well, which can be very frightening for our local pets. Tonight, the Palm Springs Animal Shelter staff has more on the different ways you can prepare to keep your pets safe. Our Brett Rosen has more details for us tonight. Brett?
The Palm Springs Animal Shelter tells me that furry friends are more than just pets. They're part of the family. And with 4th of July coming up, they have given some helpful tips on how you can keep your furry friends safe. The 4th of July is just around the corner, and while many are planning trips, some locals say they are concerned of potentially losing their furry friend.
Dog escapes. The dog is in a panicked state, and so it's not necessarily, looking for help. It's just panicking. And
my worry would be if they ran away. If she was outside, do not let your dog outside.
Maybe this will get you adopted. Huh?
Executive Director at the Palm Springs Animal Shelter, Dan Rossi, says they get the biggest number of stray animals during the 4th of July weekend. So he says if you're a pet owner, it's best to be prepared ahead of time.
Make sure that you have a quiet space ready for your animal during 4th of July, a couple days beforehand and obviously after as well.
Some ways Dan Rossi says you can prepare your home is by making sure your curtains are closed to block out the fireworks. Keep your home dimly lit, play white noise or soft calm music, or walk your dog in the morning before fireworks go off. However, Rossi and other pet owners say there's nothing better than just staying home and keeping an eye out on your pet to keep them calm.
I highly recommend an owner be with them just in case something happens to help control the situation and them as well.
Keep your dog with you and keep them leashed. Don't let them run around so they'll just run away or something. If I lost her, I don't know what I'd do.
This is a shared testament of many pet owners. Rossi says during this time of year, you can never be too safe when it comes to making sure your pet is taken care of. A way to ensure the safety and security of your furry friend, says Dan Rossi, is to have them chipped so the Palm Springs Animal Shelter can reunite the animal with its owner as soon as possible.
There's a microchip. We read that microchip. We have the readers here, and we know right away who the owner is, what their contact information is, and literally within minutes from when that animal comes in, we can call them and let them know that their animal is here.
Now, the Palm Springs Animal Shelter mentioned chipping as another important tool to ensure your furry friend's safety. They had told me that if you live in Palm Springs, chipping is absolutely free. And if you live anywhere else in the Coachella Valley, it's only $10. It's just another tool used to make sure that if your furry friend runs off, you'd be able to easily find them. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen.
Our thanks to Brett for those reminders tonight. Coming up next here on NBC Palm Springs, it's monster truck time at Acrisure Arena. Our Caitlin Kelly is live from the Hot Wheels show that promises fun for the whole family. That's later on in sports.
Also tonight, new affordable housing for special needs residents could be coming to Palm Springs. We have those details and more. That's when we come right back.
And we have your gold and silver prices on this Friday evening. Stay with us. All of those headlines after the break. Welcome back. Palm Springs is nearing a deal to develop affordable rental housing for residents living with special needs. This 5.65-acre site is owned by the city. It will feature units designed for individuals with physical, mental, or developmental disabilities, including support services and accessibility features. It's set to be at the intersection of North Gene Autry Trail and Mission Drive. A recommendation is expected at the July 21st City Council meeting. The project will be supported by the city's $12.2 million Affordable Housing Reserve Fund. Now, once a developer is chosen, detailed plans are due within 30 days of signing that contract.
All right, we're giving you a live look tonight from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Weekend is here. Chloe Carlson is in, and she's tracking that forecast. The details when we come right back.
And happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 Cam and Ranch Mirage. A beautiful look at the palm trees, the sky this evening. Light traffic down the 111. And yes, I said it, it's Friday. You made it to the weekend. Congratulations. And not a bad Friday. 107.4 the high today. It's technically a little bit above average, but we'll say seasonal for this time of year. It is close enough. 121 is that record-breaking number from 2021. So look at that with those numbers. Across the region at this hour for the Southwest, we are just below 70 degrees for San Diego, Oceanside, and Santa Barbara. As we look to the east of us, Lake Havasu, 105, 103 in Vegas. For us here, I guess these maps are playing games with me. Apparently now we're 108. So there you go. 98 degrees and Desert Hot Springs on the other side of the 10, 102 on the southeast and there in Indio. Overnight tonight will stay pretty consistent with those overnight conditions. We'll be mid to high 70s here on the desert floor, 60s for the pass, around 40 degrees up there in Big Bear. Surface moisture not changing at all. We are staying dry here for us in Southern California. no rain in sight, unfortunately. It would be nice because we do need some with those drought conditions, but we will be staying dry, less than mostly 10% for that relative humidity. As far as this weekend and into next week, that ridge of high pressure that I mentioned earlier, that's going to be moving through the center of that system, is going to be moving through Southern California and continue to ramp up those temperatures. So for, it looks like Monday through Wednesday next week, we'll see the hottest temperatures for the next 7 days. So 109 to 113 for our Monday, and breezy winds in the evening hours. There is some monsoonal moisture that's going to be mostly to the east of us. We'll keep our eye on it. Maybe some of it will move into Southern California as we into next week. Like we said, warm, hot conditions, great clear skies for the fireworks on July 4th. That party kicks off, the fireworks kick off for Agua Caliente Casino at 9 p.m. It's going to be 95 degrees. It's going to be a hot one this year, so no blankets are good. Here's a look at your Air 7-day forecast. So below 110 degrees through the weekend. We are 110 on Monday.
NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos. We have your game.
Monster trucks are taking over Acrisure Arena this weekend. It's all part of the Hot Wheels live show. And tonight, you have a chance to take a photo with a truck, meet a local firefighter, and skate for free. Our Caitlin Kelly out there having a bunch of fun over at Acrisure Arena tonight. Caitlin, tell us more about what we can expect this weekend.
Olivia, what we can expect this weekend is a lot of fun inside Acrisure Arena. So if you're looking to beat the heat, coming to Acrisure Arena to see monster trucks live, glow and fire, that's where the party is going to be. I'm actually joined by one of the monster truck drivers, Joe Cipher. Joe, talk to me about what fans can expect when they come to Acrisure Arena tomorrow.
You know, they can expect us to see us do 4 disciplines. We're going to do wheelies, donuts, long jump, and of course freestyle at the end of the show, where everybody gets to show off. They're going to expect the house to be darkened, you know, for the glow and fire. You'll see lights. You'll get a lot of crowd participation from the announcer, from us, you know, and we just want to do awesome show for them. You can see an FMX guy doing stunts in the air, you know, with their motorcycles. And you also see a transforming dragon, too.
A transforming dragon, that's something new, I think, this year. But before we get to that, I want you to talk to me about this rig that we've got behind us, because this is the rig that you actually drive. It is enormous. Talk to me about 5 Alarm.
You know, 5 Alarm's probably about 11 feet tall, weighs about 10,500 pounds. Wow. It's a fire truck. It's a what Hot Wheels created was what a kid would create for a hot rod fire truck. So, and it's all hand controlled for me to drive. So.
That's incredible. Now, earlier you just mentioned that we were going to be seeing a dragon. What are some of the new features that people can expect to see if they were here last year? What's going to be new this year?
So instead of just the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live glow party, they're going to see the fire. The fire. The second part of the show is more based off of fire. And that's where 5 Alarm comes into. Everybody thinks it's named after 5 Alarm, which I think so too.
Well, as if having Acrisure Arena and the Firebirds, we've now got fire with the Hot Wheels. Now, talk to me a little bit, really quickly. When are the shows?
So tomorrow at 12:30 is a show, and then tomorrow night again at 7:30, and then Sunday is 2:30.
Perfect. And you can get tickets right here at Acrisure Arena tonight. Take a picture with the truck or come on to the box office tomorrow. But for myself and Joe, I'm Caitlin Kelly, sending it back to you guys in studio.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos married journalist Lauren Sanchez today. It happened in Venice, Italy. The 3-day multi-million-dollar affair got underway with a lot of celebrities in attendance. Roughly about 200 guests expected. Some of the A-listers you can see right there on your screen. We've got Oprah, Leonardo DiCaprio, Orlando Bloom, Tom Brady. And we're told the Kardashians also were in attendance. Many were seen at the airport boarding VIP water taxis. Details of the wedding nuptials shrouded in secrecy, including the precise location and also the wedding gown. We'll be right back.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
All right, before we go, this summer, humans aren't the only ones trying to stay cool at Whipsnade Zoo in the UK. A herd of Asian elephants cooling off in their own private pool, and it looks like they are having a blast. Nang Phaya and Ming Jung can be seen making a splash as they deal with a heat wave there. Elephant keeper Emily Hanley giving the elephants a little refreshing shower and apparently a bath as well. Who doesn't love elephants?
Right, such a great video. And now doing a flip in the water. I feel like we can't show the animals at the Living Desert because they're all going to want their own little pool with the splashing in there.
Oh yeah, they can join in the
Right?
splash pad.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We're back here at 11 o'clock, so please join us for that meantime. We're going to send things over to Fred Rogan tonight. He's got the latest with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark. The Rogan Report is presented by The Living Desert.
All right, so when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? Refreshed? Raring to go? What does it feel like? You never slept at all. Many people feel exhausted as they wake up. The minute they wake up, we'll talk about it. Happy Friday. It's going to be hot again. Actually, it seems like it's going to be hot forever. And that being the case, if you have a pool here in the Coachella Valley, you'll probably use it. And if you are using your own pool in your own yard, should you be able to do whatever you want? Now, we got this story from a viewer. Someone said to him they saw a naked person swimming in the yard behind them and considered it lewd behavior. How did they see this? Apparently, they have a Ring camera pointed in the direction of the neighbor's backyard. They want to file a complaint with the police. Our contributors tonight, Doug and Jamie Baker, and Doug looks a bit pained. Are you all right, Doug? You seem to have a scowl on your face as we begin tonight. Did this story upset
No, I
you?
was watching the bear go in the swimming pool prior to this lead-in. No, we don't. Skinny dipping is called something else here. It's called chunky dunk, okay? And we don't do it because we back up to the golf course. And frankly, I'm not that proud.
Okay. Well, listen, who better to comment on that than you? Now, Jamie, obviously I've been to your house and I know where the pool sits. So you guys would not swim naked in your pool?
No, why? No. First of all, why is this person's Ring camera facing somebody else's backyard? That is privacy invasion at its best. No.
Yeah, but the Ring camera could be facing the backyard. The argument could be made, Doug, because they want to see if somebody comes through their back door.
What, through their neighbor's pool, over the hedge and into their yard? No, I don't think so. You want to put a camera on your neighbor's backyard and then complain that you see what the neighbor is doing? That's ridiculous.
All right. So now let me ask you guys this, because you live in a beautiful home in a beautiful area. If you were to see your neighbors swimming naked, would you say something to them? Or, Jamie, would you just enjoy the show?
I love my neighbors. I love all my neighbors. I don't want to see them naked anywhere. Pool, golf, no.
Doug, what would you do?
Well, I don't know, given the age group of our neighbors, that we could ever enjoy the show. But it wouldn't bother me either. Those things don't bother me.
All right. Well, just think about that, by the way. If you're swimming in your pool, a neighbor happens to look in, you're naked when swimming, and they say you are conducting lewd conduct. So we talked about something the other night that generated a good amount of reaction. Here was the story. People were talking about taking their lunch break in a cemetery, a kale salad and a roast beef sandwich. Some considered this offensive. Sue, time for lunch. Want to go out with your pals? Would you go to the cemetery, or do you find it disrespectful to eat there?
Oh, no, I don't find it disrespectful at all. It depends on your culture.
I think it's a great idea. I would eat some ribs. I'm not taking a full rack of ribs to the cemetery or a double scoop on a cone on a hot summer day. However, I think the cemetery could be turned also into a golf course. A lot of greenery there to use.
Now, our viewers didn't think there was a problem eating at the cemetery as long as you're respectful and you clean up after yourself.
Good job. Please stop. Perfect.
Dwayne posted, I visit my brother every 6 months or so, always take a blanket and lunch with me. Angela posted, People can mind their own business. Unless they are throwing food on graves or playing loud music, mind your own business. When I visit my dad's grave, I often bring his favorite snacks and enjoy them with him and listen to music quietly. That's my time with him. Kathy brought up Hollywood Forever Cemetery, all kinds of activities there, including Toto and movie night. Francis was not pleased. The lack of detail, transparency, and journalism in this story makes it impossible to conclude anything about what may actually have transpired. Was it a cultural expression or a handyman parking in the cemetery to eat lunch? A fifth grader could have written a better, more accurate story, but we could only afford fourth graders to write. And there's Lisa. If you have an issue eating at a cemetery, don't do it. Not everyone needs to know your feelings about everything. People are ridiculous. Could be a culture thing, according to Richard. Common in Latin countries and New Orleans. Virginia missed the whole point. One person complained, and you turn this into a story. To which Chrissy-Anna responded, awareness matters.
Good job. Would you please stop? Perfect.
Now, if there's one thing we hear a lot about, it's traffic and whether the lights are synced up here in the valley. This caught our attention. A bus driver got in touch with us and thinks there's something going on at the intersection of East Palm Canyon Drive and West Buddy Rogers Avenue near the Pickford Theater. Our driver says that for whatever reason, that light lasts a long time and actually thinks that it triggers for cars faster than buses. So we went out there today and we simply rolled on the intersection for about 20 minutes. When we were there, we really didn't notice that much, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Whatever's going on, it seems to knock some of the buses off their schedule. Reached out to our friends at Cathedral City. They got right back to us and said they are going to look into it. Okay, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Greet the day, refreshed, a smile, ready to conquer the world? Or are you like every 1 in 3 Americans that wake up already exhausted? As a growing issue, Alex goes, that's me. There's a growing issue with sleep quality and overall well-being. Why? Stress, poor sleep habits, lifestyle choices contribute to this widespread fatigue. Experts emphasize the importance of prioritizing rest and establishing healthier routines to address this trend. Doug, you're up first. Do you wake up already exhausted?
Some mornings I do, yes. I don't get, with rare exception, I don't get a full night's sleep. Jamie, as you know, gets up about 3:30 in the morning. And most mornings I don't get up with her, but I hear her, we chat for a few minutes, and then I try to go back to sleep. But she's happy, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, some mornings I wake up and I'm already tired.
Yeah, she gets up at 3:30 in the morning, and you try to chat with her. Why wouldn't you just let her get up?
Well, I don't keep her from getting up. I just hear the alarm sometimes. So I know she's moving around the house, so I like to say good morning and have a great day. I'm a nice guy.
No, you are a nice guy. You are a nice guy. Do you wake up at 3:30 in the morning already exhausted, Jamie?
No, it's 3:45. My God. No, I wake up refreshed, ready to go, excited, and I feel bad for people who wake up and feel exhausted. That's not a fun way to live.
Well, how do you think chronic fatigue can impact your daily life, Jamie?
Well, if you're stressed, you're not happy, there's so many coworkers who just come to work and say, I hate this place. But then don't come here. So it's all about how you put your mind to. It's everything happens with your mind.
All right, well, using your mind, Doug, how can we all get a better night's sleep? What can we do?
One word, Fred, Ambien.
Yeah, there's that. If there was maybe a more natural approach, it might be helpful. But of course.
Oh, you want helpful?
No, you know what you are? You know what you are? It's what my kids tell me. You're a fan of Big Pharma. Ambien, take the pills. That's exactly right, Doug.
Yeah.
They work.
All right. Just get a full, restful 8 hours of sleep, my friend, and always wake up being a good neighbor. So here's Deanna's problem in Cathedral City. She's got a bird problem, wondering if anyone has put up bird deterrents. If so, what did they cost and did they help? Mark Rancho Mirage looking for a mobile mechanic that can reinstall a splash guard that's hanging off his car. Vera in La Quinta looking to find the best crab cakes in the valley. Who can tell her where to find them? Haley in Palm Desert needs some assistance, maybe 45 minutes to an hour on July 2nd, to help her unload a moving truck.
everyone. You normally don't see me dressed like this, but we are continuing our 4th of July ideas for you. Can you guess where I am? So far, we've taken you to Civic Center, Rancho Mirage, Agua Caliente casinos, and now we're giving you another idea in Palm Springs for a great way to spend your 4th of July. We are at the Palm Springs Surf Club. They have events planned for the day.
This is completely open to the public. Just pay for the general admission. For adults, it's 40, kids, it's 20.
And they want you to know it's not an exclusive club. It's for everybody in the Coachella Valley.
This is kind of like a place where we kind of want to build on the community.
Digi, I got a double. It's time for you to come with me. Put that camera down, will you? I didn't bring my lawn chairs today, but I did get you a tube. So you have to come in this lazy river with me. I'm getting you your tube, and we're gonna hold hands, and we're gonna float away together. At the end of the day, if you're sick of the sun and you really wanna pamper yourself, I feel elite, even though this is for everyone, come into this beautiful air-conditioned area where you can sit at the bar, grab something to eat. So many options at the Palm Springs Surf Club. See this story first, as well as more content, visit our website, NBCPalmSprings.com, or follow us on social media at NBC Palm Springs.
How do we know what's going on unless you tell us?
You can tell us anything.
Even your deepest, darkest secrets. We like those.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan, or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
2 questions. Are you happy? And how's your memory?
June is National Cancer Survivor Month, and a local breast cancer survivor is sharing her inspiring story of resilience and recovery. If it weren't for a walk with her dog Rafferty, Allegra Warfield might never have discovered she had breast cancer. During that walk, Allegra fell, went to the hospital, and found out the news. She fought hard, and today Allegra is cancer-free. She credits early detection and encourages others to be proactive and advocate for their own health. And as for those walks with Rafferty, they're still part of her daily routine. For her strength and the strength of all cancer survivors, Allegra is our hero of the week.
All right, so how good is your memory? Do you remember all your first grade classmates, your male person's names, your family trip to the Grand Canyon when you were 10? If you remember all of that with crystal clarity, you're probably a pretty happy person. New study shows that happier people tend to remember things better, suggesting feeling good can boost our memory skills. Researchers found that positive emotions really help with recalling information, linking our mental health to how well we remember stuff. All right, Jamie, how do you boost your happiness?
I try to live by the motto of, if it's not fun, why do it? I try to keep my mind positive, have fun doing everything, like what we're doing tonight.
I thought your motto was an eye for an eye.
Oh, well, no. No, it's fun.
All right. Doug, how do you boost your happiness?
An eye for an eye is her marriage creed. I do it by mentally taking care of myself. I love to read, so I read an awful lot. In fact, I've got 8 books stacked up over there that I read in the last 6 weeks. That I enjoy that. And I enjoy good conversation with good friends. And the more I do that, I know my memory is going to be okay.
No, you know what's interesting about that? Because they do say boosting your well-being, activities like mindfulness or social engagement, help slow age-related memory decline. So you live that every day, Doug.
Yes. I didn't know I was, but yeah, I am.
Jamie, what do you think? Does that help memory decline if you're just more engaged with people, take more time for yourself?
I think it's really based on every individual. Like Doug won't remember somebody's name to save his life, but he could recall something that happened in like 1940. So it all depends.
No.
I remember everything.
That happens when you get older. You forget what happened yesterday, right? But then back in 1940, you remember when I was walking to school. Yeah, that just happens as you age. You forget the stuff that happened now, and you remember things from like 40, 50 years ago, Doug.
Yeah, you do. And she's saying I forget people's names. That's true. I forget names of people that I met once a year ago and haven't.
Right.
Well, that's because they're not important to you. No, it's because I don't know who they are.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a question about what is commonly known as the Cross Trail in Palm Desert. Leslie wrote she hikes it all the time, and now there is a no trespassing sign if you go down South Cliff Road, which she believes is not private property. As a hiker, I'm trying to figure out what the status is. Perhaps you could let me know. So we reached out to Palm Desert. Here's what they had to say. It is officially called the Homestead Trail. The trail is partially located on private property, but it is a sanctioned trail. That means the public is allowed to use it through agreements with landowners. Over the years, people have sort of made their own trails leading off the main path and onto private land, which includes the trail down South Cliff Road. So it's private land. Residents raised concerns, and that's why the sign is there, to reduce impacts from these unofficial trails, which would ensure safe, respectful access to open spaces. Still hot. Chloe, any relief on the way with super weather? That was good, Alex. AI is looking into your soul.
Riddle me this. What has a neck but no head?
I got it, but I'm not going to say it. When it comes to the future, there's a good chance you're already behind because AI is here to stay.
From the world of AI.
We didn't ask for AI to be a part of our life. The big technologists did, right? At the end of the day, there's the good and the bad of AI and many, many points in between. And we are so early in understanding how AI is going to affect anything and everything we do. And what we're seeing in our work out there in the Coachella Valley is what happens when you get beyond the novelty and the low-hanging fruit aspect of AI.
From the world of AI.
So it is better to be prepared because AI is there in force and there will only be more uses for it going forward. Our viewers chimed in about what they think after we talked about the use of AI when it comes to health insurance companies deciding on your claim.
Good job.
Would you please stop? Perfect.
What about the insurance company who kicks out your prescription due to AI and wants to give you different drugs? From Kathy. AI diagnosed my cancer. A doctor reviewed AI. Then he did the surgery. I'm cancer-free, thank God. From David. McKinley had a different perspective. It all depends on what you use AI for. Important to make a distinction between types of AI and their use. For example, AI tools that can streamline one's business workflow are great. Generative AI is not. To type a few prompts into ChatGPT and have it spew forth a full-length novel and claim the result as a work of authorship is absurd.
Good job.
Would you please stop? Perfect.
All right, your daily dose of cuteness when we return. What am I wearing? Exactly what I was wearing. But the important thing, our friends at the McCallum Theater have more of their new season to share with you. Holidays are sneaking up on us, just like the Grinch. Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The musical creeps into the McCallum in November. Magnificent sets and costumes inspired by Dr. Seuss original illustrations, as well as songs from the original animated special, will help transport audiences to the whimsical world of Whoville. For tickets and information, head on over to McCallumTheater.org.
Report was presented by the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens.
We know you're smarter than we are. Please amaze us with your intellect. Tell us what you think. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Hey, what has a neck but no head? A bottle.
Get ready, thrill seekers. Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live is roaring back into Acrisure Arena this weekend with an all-new supercharged show, Glow and Fire. This time, it's bigger, louder, and hotter than ever. Your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks will light up the arena as they go head-to-head in epic battles and jaw-dropping stunts. But that's not all. Prepare to be blown away by gravity-defying freestyle motocross action and a special surprise appearance by a transforming robot. It's the ultimate family event of the summer. Now on view through December at the Palm Springs Museum's Architecture and Design Center, Modern Women, the Influencers Who Shaped Palm Springs. This inspiring exhibition shines a spotlight on the incredible women who've helped shape the look and legacy of modern architecture in the Palm Springs area. Next week, July 3rd through the 5th, Palm Springs Parks and Rec celebrates Independence Day starting Thursday night at Village Fest with family-friendly games, crafts, and activities, live music, and free snow cones. On Friday the 4th, the fun begins at 3 p.m. with a pool party at Sunrise Park, Powers baseball game at 6, a concert at the park at 7, and fireworks at 9:15. And on Saturday the 5th, at 7 p.m. at the Swim Center, it's dive-in movie time with a showing of Captain America. Whatever you choose to do, have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you around the town.
A couple of comments tonight about our CVUSD audit coverage. Chris thinks we are oversimplifying the issue. He believes they should be held accountable, but it's naive to think anybody would welcome an audit. The documentation and resources needed to provide auditors is a nightmare. Auditors will always find something wrong. That is their job. Would you be happy to have an IRS audit to prove there is nothing wrong with your tax returns? Okay, well, to be quite frank with you, I would not. But then again, I am not dealing with public money with your money. About our story on EVs being required to alert pedestrians, Dale wrote, we just bought a new Mercedes AMG Hybrid. When it is running on battery, it emits a pedestrian warning sound. First time I got out of the car and heard it, I thought something was wrong with the car. All right. Remember, NBC Palm Springs, this weekend, we will not rest because we work 24/7. Get to the website. Go to the Rogan Report. That's our show page. Content from tonight is up there, and content from our past episodes as well. Made it through another week. Appreciate you being with us. Wheel of Fortune is next.